Hi, I'm Kendall. Christmas dinner glasses already raised for the toast, and my brother suddenly stands up. I'm overwhelmed, he announces to the entire table. I need you to pay for my Hawaii trip. Simple as that. Dad smirks. If you say no, don't come back. Dead silence. Mom just nods like this was planned all week. Everyone else freezes forks halfway to their mouths. I feel the heat rush up my neck so fast I almost laugh. 1 second I'm holding my wine glass. The next my fingers are white around the stem. I set it down slow, looked them both dead in the eye and smiled. Then goodbye and good luck with your mess. I didn't grab my coat. I walked straight out into the -20-degree Chicago night snow hitting my face, and I've never felt clearer in my life. If your family ever turned a holiday toast into an ultimatum, hit that like button right now and subscribe, because what happened after I shut that door made them regret every single word. Turn on notifications, you won't want to miss how far they fell. I drove home through -20-degree air and only felt relief. The heater had been broken for weeks, but I didn't care. My teeth weren't chattering. My shoulders weren't up around my ears. The invisible rope that had been wrapped around my ribs for 3 straight years had finally snapped and I could breathe again. It started the night Jackson totaled his Civic doing 98 on the Eisenhower Expressway. He called me from the tow yard at 2:14 a.m., voice cracking, saying the car was dead and he had zero way to get to his new job. Mom was already on the three-way call sobbing that her baby would be homeless without wheels. By 8:30 the next morning, I was at the Ford dealership sliding $29,800 across the table for a fully loaded black Mustang GT so he could start fresh and turn heads. Title in my name. Keys in his hand by lunch. Then came insurance. His driving record looked like a rap sheet. Quotes came back at $1,900 a month. I added him to my policy. Auto pay every 27th. Never missed. 8 months later, he decided he needed a life reset in Vegas. $5,000 wired before takeoff. Another 6 when he lost the first batch on the first night. He sent selfies from a daybed at Encore Beach Club with the caption, "Living like a king." I paid the over-limit fees and cash advance charges so the card wouldn't lock him out. When he finally crawled out of Mom and Dad's basement, the downtown loft he wanted required first month last month and 2 security deposits. Landlord laughed at his application. I wrote the check for $12,400 the same afternoon, telling myself this was the absolute last time. It never was. There were the surprise Miami long weekends, the $1,500 gaming chair for content creation, the 10x10 storage unit, overflowing with designer sneakers he wore once for Instagram, the unlimited family phone plan only he and his friends used the private mailbox downtown so packages wouldn't get stolen from the porch. Every single time I tried to say no, Mom would call at midnight whispering that Dad's blood pressure was through the roof because Jackson was going through a rough patch. I'd open the banking app, hit transfer, and feel another piece of me disappear. Last February, he showed up at my apartment with a glossy brochure for a 5-bedroom oceanfront villa in Wailea. Private, infinity pool, chef butler, the whole fantasy. Deposit of $15,000 due in 48 hours. He swore on everything this was different, that he was about to blow up online, that he'd pay me back triple. Once his streetwear brand launched, I paid. The trip came and went. No payback. Just more shirtless stories on a catamaran with captions like "blessed and highly favored." So when he stood up at Christmas dinner demanding another $22,000 for an even bigger Hawaii trip, the word no left my mouth like a bullet. I pulled into my garage, snow already piling on the windshield, and opened the banking app right there in the dark. One by one, I killed every single recurring charge tied to his name. Car insurance deleted, phone plan deleted, storage unit deleted. Streaming services he never paid for deleted, private mailbox deleted, private gym membership deleted, every single digital leash severed in under 3 minutes. I sat in the freezing car breath fogging the windows waiting for the familiar wave of guilt and panic that always followed any act of rebellion. It never came. The next morning, December 26, 7:08 a.m., one lone email in my inbox. Subject: reservation cancelled. Four Seasons Resort. Maui at Wailea, booking. Gacha HL 80822. The $22,000 deposit has been forfeited due to non-payment of the remaining balance of $18,400. Your reservation has been terminated effective immediately. I stared at the screen and felt absolutely nothing. No urge to call the resort and beg. No dread about the explosion that would hit when they finally noticed. No sick twist in my stomach. I made coffee, sat on the couch, and watched the snow fall in thick, silent sheets outside my window. My phone stayed dark. No pings about payments I no longer owed. No calendar alerts for bills that were never mine to begin with. No weight pressing down on my chest. For the first time in 3 full years, the day was completely, entirely, undeniably mine, and it felt like breaking the surface after being held underwater for far too long. 3 days later, my phone finally exploded. I was grabbing coffee downtown when Jackson's name started flashing nonstop. I declined. It rang again instantly. By the time I reached the office, he had called 57 times, and the texts were coming faster than I could swipe. Jackson, the trip is gone. What the hell did you do? Jackson Resort just emailed me. Everything canceled. Jackson, pick up your phone right now, Jackson. You're actually insane. I silenced the ringer and kept walking. Reed slid into my DMs like he'd been waiting for the signal. Reed cold-blooded. You just let your own brother get humiliated in front of everyone. Reed, money really did turn you into a monster. Reed, hope. Those extra zeros keep you warm at night. I left him on read. Mom FaceTimed at exactly 4:02 p.m. I declined twice. Third time I answered just to stop the vibration in my pocket. Her face filled the screen, mascara already running. Jackson is destroyed. He's been telling literally everyone about this Hawaii trip since September. Now the resort emailed him personally saying the money never arrived. His friends are blowing up the group chat, laughing at him. Do you know how embarrassing that is for me at book club? I said nothing. She kept going. Your father hasn't come out of his office all day. His blood pressure is skyrocketing again. You're going to put him in the hospital. I finally spoke. We're done here. I ended the call and blocked her number on the spot. Dad sent one text at 5:11 p.m. Dad, fix this or you're no daughter of mine. All caps, no punctuation. The family group chat turned into a public stoning. Jackson posted the full cancellation email with the subject line visible and wrote, "Guess who ruined my life? Thanks, big sis." Reed dropped 15 skull emojis and Ice Queen activated. Cousins I hadn't spoken to in years jumped in with family first, and this is disgusting. I left the chat and blocked every single new number that tried to add me back. By 9 o'clock, Jackson had left 19 voicemails. I played the longest one on speaker while pouring wine. His voice was pure venom. I had flights, villa excursions, everything planned for months. I told people at work. I told the gym bros. Now I have to walk in tomorrow and say my own sister stole my dream trip because she's a selfish bitch who thinks she's better than us. You just made me the biggest joke in Chicago, and I swear I will never forgive you. I deleted every single one. Then at 10:47 p.m., one new message from a number I hadn't heard from directly in years. Sage. Wow. You really are the most evil person in this family. Hope you're proud watching Jackson cry in the driveway. Heartless? That was my little sister. 22 years old, still living at home, still treating Jackson like the second coming. The same girl who used to beg me for concert tickets, Ubers, and rent money when her influencer checks didn't come through. The same girl who laughed when Mom said I owed the family because I made more money. I read it twice, felt the old rage flicker, then blocked her too. By midnight, every contact with our last name was gone from my phone. The apartment fell completely silent. No more buzzing. No more notifications. No more guilt trips disguised as emergencies. Just the low hum of the refrigerator and the soft thud of my own heartbeat. And for the first time since I walked out on Christmas night, I slept straight through until morning. Mid-January, Sage forwarded an 18-second video, followed by 5 crying laughing emojis and the words, "This is better than Netflix." It was 2:13 a.m. The apartment complex parking lot glowing under orange streetlights, fresh snow swirling. Jackson stood barefoot in nothing but gray pajama pants, chest bare, screaming at 2 repo men as they chained his black Mustang to the flatbed. "That's my car, you can't just take it. I have the money coming tomorrow, I swear to God." One driver held up the repossession order and kept working. Jackson charged forward, slipped hard on the ice, and slammed onto his back with a hollow thud that echoed. The tow truck started rolling while he was still on the ground, pounding the snow with both fists and howling raw, guttural curses at the sky. The Mustang's red taillights disappeared around the corner. The clip ended on his broken scream hanging in the frozen air. Sage added another message. He literally woke up the entire building. I'm crying. I watched it 8 times on mute first, then once with sound. A cold, sharp satisfaction spread through me like ice water. 4 days later, she sent a flood of screenshots. Jackson had decided the Hawaii trip could still happen if he fixed the balance himself. In less than 72 hours, he had maxed every single credit card in the house. New first-class tickets, a different 5-bedroom villa on the Big Island with private waterfall pool, sunset catamaran cruise for 12 doors. Off helicopter ride over the volcano, chef dinners, the works. Total new charges, $27,400. The statements were forwarded from Mom's email with subject lines that got progressively more desperate. "Urgent help, call me now." Then came the photo that actually made my stomach drop. The old oak dining room table, the one we'd eaten every holiday dinner on since I was 6. Papers spread everywhere like evidence at a crime scene. Dad's hand visibly shaking, signing a home equity line of credit application. The cover sheet had cash out refinance, $75,000 stamped in red. Closing costs highlighted in frantic yellow. Mom had scrawled Jackson, Hawaii, emergency across the top folder in thick black Sharpie, the letters slanted and angry. That house had been free and clear since Dad retired. He used to brag to every neighbor that the bank didn't own a single brick of it anymore. Now they were putting the whole thing back in hock so Jackson could pretend Christmas never happened. Sage kept the updates coming like it was her personal reality show. The lender ran credit again 6 days later. The Mustang repo had hit all 3 bureaus because Mom had co-signed the original loan when Jackson was 19. Scores plummeted 110 points overnight. The cash-out refinance was dead on arrival. The denial letter was 1-line application declined due to recent derogatory account activity. Sage sent me the final screenshot that month, Jackson's Instagram story, black background, white text that read, "Real family, doesn't leave you to drown." It had 74,000 views and hundreds of crying emojis from people who had no clue what actually went down. She captioned the screenshot she sent me. "He's been crying in his room for 2 days straight. This is the best thing that's ever happened to him, deserved every second since the day he opened his mouth at Christmas dinner. I never answered a single message. I didn't have to." The house of cards I had finally stopped propping up was collapsing in slow motion, and my own little sister was filming it in 4K, laughing the entire time. Late February, the house appeared on Zillow with a foreclosure tag. I found it by accident while running comps for a client. Same red brick ranch, same cracked driveway, same address I grew up in. Listing photos were brutal kitchen counters buried under piles of unopened bills, living room carpet stained with mysterious dark patches, garage door dented, and half-open snow piled high on the unshoveled walk. Price slashed 4 times in 11 days. Status line in screaming red bank owned. Foreclosure auction scheduled April 11th. The official sheriff's notice arrived the same week. Sage screen recorded the envelope before Mom could hide it and sent it to her private story with the caption, "Plot twist of the century." Thick white envelope, county courthouse return address stamped in bold, final notice, 90-day redemption period. Inside, total payoff amount $361, $224 in 81, or the house would be sold at public auction in 38 days. Mom tried one last lender begging for a conventional refinance to stop the bleeding. They pulled credit again. The Mustang repo, Jackson's 27 grand Hawaii rampage, 5 months of missed mortgage payments, and the denied cash-out attempt had nuked their scores into the low 400s. The loan officer's email was 3 sentences long: declined, unable to proceed, insufficient credit profile. Sage went live on Instagram the exact same afternoon the denial hit. She was at a ski resort 3 hours north, cheeks red from the cold, wearing a brand new white Moncler jacket and holding a Starbucks cup the size of her head. Behind her, chairlift swung against a perfect blue sky. She grinned straight into the camera. "Quick life update, besties. Some people thought they could ruin our family by being selfish, but guess who's still living her best life? This girl. Shout out to my brother Jackson for always keeping it real. And a very special thank you to my big sister Kendall for indirectly sponsoring this entire trip. Your absence is the gift that keeps on giving." She blew a kiss, tagged Jackson in the corner, and added laughing emojis over my name. The live had 11,000 viewers in 10 minutes. Comments flooded. "Queen behavior period, she ate and left no crumbs." Jackson hopped on the live from his bedroom, hoodie up, eyes still puffy, and said, "Facts. Love you, sis." They toasted with their Starbucks cups like they were on a yacht. Meanwhile, the house kept sliding deeper into the red. The listing photos updated again, eviction stickers now plastered across the front door, a giant yellow notice taped to the garage. The price dropped another 30 grand overnight. Sage kept posting from the resort all weekend: night skiing videos, hot tub clips with champagne dinner at the lodge, with the caption, "Living like the foreclosure never happened." Every single story had my name somewhere in it, either tagged or written in text overlay with skull emojis. I watched exactly one of her stories, felt the old rage flare for half a second, then closed the app and went back to work. The avalanche was picking up speed, and my little sister was riding it straight to the bottom while filming every second for clout. Early April, the auction hammer fell. Tuesday morning, county courthouse steps, 10 sharp. An investor from Florida bought the house for $198,000 cash, 58% of what it was once worth. Closing in 9 days. The new owner already had a crew scheduled to change the locks. Mom, Dad, Jackson, and Sage had 48 hours to disappear. They loaded what little they still owned into 2 U-Hauls and checked into room 214 at the Motel 6 off I-94. 2 sagging queen beds, cigarette burns on the comforter, a mini fridge that rattled all night, neon vacancy sign bleeding red through the cracked curtains. They paid weekly cash only because every credit card was dead. Jackson started waiting tables at a 24-hour diner 2 exits down. Night shift, 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. Black non-slip shoes, wrinkled white shirt, crooked name tag that just read, Jax. He came home smelling like bacon grease and broken dreams, pockets full of singles and loose change that barely covered gas. Reed finally snapped 2 weeks later. Jackson and Sage had been crashing his parties for months, running up tabs, disappearing when the bill came, promising Venmos that never arrived. Reed came home one Friday to find them throwing a pre-game in his living room, 40 people deep, his fridge empty, and a $1 $200 bar receipt on the counter with Jackson's name scribbled at the bottom. Reed posted the receipt to the group chat with one message: "Both of you are officially banned. Don't text. Don't show up. Don't even drive past my block. We're done." Then he removed them from every chat, every invite list, every fantasy league they'd ever joined. Their phones lit up with screenshots from mutual friends, damn cold about time. Sage went live crying in the motel bathroom mascara, running claiming Reed was jealous of their lifestyle. The live peaked at 400 viewers before she rage quit. Their old friend circle ghosted overnight. No more bar invites. No more you coming through texts. Just silence. The motel room became their whole world. Mom and Dad took the bed closest to the door. Jackson and Sage shared the other, fighting over the single outlet that actually worked. The bathroom mirror stayed fogged from 4 people showering in 8-minute shifts. The ice machine down the hall was broken, so they drank warm Diet Coke and argued over whose turn it was to buy more. Sage tried to keep posting like nothing had changed. Ring light selfies in the motel bathroom with captions about new chapter energy. Jackson filmed TikToks at 4 a.m. in the diner parking lot. Cigarette dangling caption grind never stops. They both deleted everything within hours when the comments turned brutal. By the end of the month, the U-Hauls were gone, content stuffed into a 10x10 storage unit they couldn't afford to keep. The only things left in room 214 were 4 duffel bags, a broken Xbox, and the smell of fryer oil that never quite washed out of their clothes. The family of 4 had officially been reduced to the size of a cheap motel room, and every door that used to open for them had finally slammed shut. July. Sage posted a 30-second TikTok from the motel bathroom. Ring light clipped to the cracked mirror phone propped on the sink. She wore a too big hoodie hair in a messy bun, voice fake cheery. POV: your toxic older sister ruins your entire family because she's mad you asked for a vacation. Like, girl, get over yourself. Jackson literally did nothing wrong. He just wanted to live a little. But no, Kendall had to play victim and destroy everything. We're literally homeless because of her ego. Pray for us. The video hit 2 million views in 48 hours. Comments were brutal. Your sister is a legend. Y'all sound entitled of maybe get jobs. Sage duetted every hate comment with tears and middle fingers, still tagging me in every single one. Her income died the same week. Livestream gifts dropped from $2,000 a night to $43. OnlyFans went from top 4% to unsubscribed in droves. Brands ghosted. The algorithm buried her. Every new video started with, "I can't believe I'm saying this, but we might lose the motel room," and ended with her crying into branded plushies nobody bought. She tried everything: trauma dump GRWM videos, fake giveaways, thirst traps in the motel parking lot at 3 a.m. Nothing worked. The internet had chosen sides, and her side was losing. One Thursday at 2:17 a.m., a new number popped up. Sage Kendall. I know you have me blocked everywhere else, but please read this. I'm literally begging. I found a studio apartment for $900 a month. I just need first month and deposit. I'll pay you back, I swear. Things are so bad here. Jackson cries every night after work. Mom and Dad fight nonstop. I can't breathe in this room anymore. You're the only one who can help. Please. I'm your sister. 3 more messages followed in under a minute. Sage. You can't seriously hate us this much. Sage. I looked up to you once. Sage. Fine. Rot alone then. I stared at the texts for exactly 4 seconds, then blocked the new number too. The next morning she went live again, voice shaking, eyes swollen. Update. I reached out to the one person who could actually fix this and she ignored me. Cool. Real family right there. Guess we'll just die in this motel. Thanks for nothing, Kendall. The live peaked at 312 viewers. Tips totaled $11.62. Jackson started picking up double shifts at the diner just to stay out of the room. Sage stopped posting for 3 whole days, a new record. When she came back, her captions were short and bitter: trust. Nobody blood doesn't mean shit. Lesson learned. The motel manager left a yellow notice on the door: 7 days to pay or vacate. Sage never asked me again. The following Christmas, a thick envelope arrived from Joliet Trailer Park. No return name, just the smudged postmark, and my old address scrawled in Mom's shaky handwriting. Inside were 12 pages folded so many times the creases had turned white. She wrote that they had been evicted from the Motel 6 in September, after the manager changed the locks while they were at work. A church friend let them park a 1987 single-wide on his back lot for $300 a month cash. One bedroom, no heat in the bathroom, propane tank that ran out every 10 days. Dad had taken a greeter job at Walmart, standing 8 hours in a blue vest smiling at people who used to invite them to cookouts. Mom cleaned offices at night, pockets full of other people's lost earrings and crumpled receipts. Jackson had moved into the trailer's tiny back room. The diner cut his hours when he started showing up, late eyes bloodshot, smelling like cheap vodka. He discovered online sports betting on his phone. $25,000 gone in 4 months, parlays, live bets, chasing losses until the screen went red. Collectors started calling the trailer at 3 a.m. He pawned his PlayStation, mom's wedding ring, even the microwave. When there was nothing left, he just disappeared into the app for hours, whispering one more like a prayer. Sage lasted 6 more weeks. One October morning, she packed her ring light and 3 trash bags of clothes, kissed Mom on the cheek, and left with a 26-year-old music producer she met on TikTok Live. Last anyone heard, they were crashing on his cousin's couch in Aurora, fighting over whose turn it was to buy ramen. She still posted thirst traps from gas station bathrooms, captioning them, "Building my empire." The final page was a single paragraph in Sage's handwriting, slipped in at the last second. "You did this. You broke Mom's heart. You let Jackson fall apart. You made me run. Everything we lost is because you were too selfish to help family when we needed you most. I hope every Christmas you spend alone tastes like ash. You're the reason this family is dead." There was a dried tear stain blotting the word dead. I read the entire letter once, standing in my kitchen, snow falling soft and silent outside the window. Then I carried the envelope to the fireplace, lit the gas burner, and held the corner to the flame. The pages curled black, Sage's last sentence disappearing first. I watched until the final ash drifted into the sink, turned on the tap, and rinsed it down the drain. I cooked steak, opened a bottle of wine I'd been saving for no reason, and ate dinner at a table set for one. The apartment was warm, quiet mine. No yelling through thin walls, no 3 a.m. gambling screams, no ring light blinding me while someone filmed their breakdown. Outside, the city sparkled under fresh snow. Inside, only the low crackle of the fireplace and the soft clink of my fork against the plate. It was the most peaceful Christmas I had ever known.